there are very few things in this world that just make a bold statement. I mean, sure, you could have a nice big handgun, some assault rifles or carbines that just say something about you. Colorful grenades, a grenade launcher, on a grenade launcher, on a grenade launcher, on top of a grenade launcher, a light machine gun with 2 more barrels attached to it with extra feeding, a quad Gatling gun, or even just a functional A10 Warthog for airsoft. Which, don't get me wrong, that last one's kind of badass and cool, but, ladies and gentlemen, nothing calls you a man more than the universal translator, the boyfriend killer, the ultimate deterrent in self-defense, the home defense weapon. Oh yes, the gun that literally is the reason why we call it a boomstick. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, I am talking about the one thing that even unleashes my inner southern boy more than just, of course, my Bass Pro hat. And no, I ain't talking about a good-old-fashioned trucker hat. No, I'm talking about a good old-fashioned shotgun, and the one that lets you unleash the primal war cry of a southerner, of an Appalachian American, a good old-fashioned yay! And it just so happens to be about a Mossberg. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we cover, of course, Double Eagle's little pump shotgun, quote-unquote, when in reality it is a magazine-fed slug gun. Now, before I continue, of course, everyone's going to start asking in the comments section, because, of course, they don't use Google. Like, seriously, if you guys haven't just paused the video or opened up another tab on the other side of this video and typed in slug gun, and yes, slug gun as an S-U-L-G gun, then obviously I have to explain it to you, or you're in an advantageous position where you cannot use Google at the time of me saying that. So let me go ahead and explain what a slug gun is. A slug gun is essentially a shotgun of any type with a barrel replaced with a rifled barrel, which allows you to effectively use your slugs, be they 410 slugs all the way up to 12 gauge slugs, or even 16 gauge, 18 gauge, or otherwise. Basically, the barrel, it's an oversized fucking rifle, be it pump action, automatic, break action, double barrel, side by side, quad barrel, triple barrel, doesn't really matter. It's a shotgun that is rifled for slugs, and makes them goddamn effectively able to take down whatever the hell you got your boomstick aimed at. So, while that is out of the way in the explanation of what a slug gun is, let's go ahead and talk about the Double Eagle Mossberg 500 series of shotgun. Now, you heard me say 500 series because there is an argument over the entire goddamn internet over what counts as a 500 and a 590. I'm going to call this the 500 series because I'm not going to get in that debate. I love shotguns all the same, unless they're Chinese pieces of shit. Then I don't love it all the same. So, let's talk about this one in particular, and the features and what it does and what it doesn't do right. Now, before we continue this, of course, I have to thank the guys over at Tupelo Airsoft Club. And, well, to be exact, I've got to thank Seth. Seth is the reason why I'm able to review this today, and my dude, I thank you very much for allowing this good old-fashioned Tennessee Southern boy to review a shotgun. Thank you very much. Now, there are some things about this gun that are going to draw people away from it. Let's not talk about the hop-up, of course. Let's talk about the one of two things that I don't like about it, and is kind of head-scratching at most. Today, let's just go ahead and talk about, obviously, the magazine. The magazine holds 20 BBs. And, sadly, that's a little tiny magazine right there. And, here's the thing. While, yes, you could 3D print out an adapter where you could use AR magazines for this, and yes, it could work and can work, and believe me, I'm going to be talking to a friend of mine who helped supply a gun for a particular review, and I'm going to be doing some cool things with him in terms of 3D printing, but I'm not going to say it here because I don't want to spoil it. What I'm going to say is this. You could have done what Cybergun has done, or what you have with your other shotguns that are half the goddamn price. And speaking of the price tag, this particular shotgun right here, or a slug gun, more or less, is $45.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
That is $45 right there for just this and a 20-round magazine. The magazines themselves are $6 a pop, and I am including tax in that. They are actually $5.99, or $5.95, or $5.99, depending on, you know, whatever. So if you're going to get more of these magazines, that's up to you. If you have a 3D printer and you're able to 3D print out use some magazines or an adapter to where you can actually use your standard AR magazines, then by all means go ahead and do that, and then you can make a magazine-fed slug gun. Another thing, of course, obviously, for that price tag of 45 bucks, you don't have any sort of rail system whatsoever. This is your basic, bare bones 500 series of shotguns. Now you're probably asking about the safety. Where is the safety on this? Because obviously you can't see a button on this. The safety is the most confusing goddamn thing about this fucking thing. I'm sorry. Who thought it was a good idea to make this the safety? And you're probably thinking that front obviously is fire, right? No, that's actually safe. You have to pull the switch back to fire.
Nice fucking model!
Yeah, you see the problem too, don't you? Because as soon as you go to prime it or even bring it up, or your hand gets loose and you see right there, like that. Let's say your hand gets loose, boom, right there. Just, that's how it is. The safety is not in a advantageous position, and I'd recommend you be careful how you handle your shotgun. Now, the cool thing about it is that this is actually light enough, or at least it's balanced and weight enough, to where you can do some action movie stuff like this. Yeah, you can... Whoop, it didn't do it hard enough. Just like that. Fucking love this thing. Now, aside from the obvious two issues of the magazines, the price tag, and all that, anything else wrong with a shotgun? No, not really. In reality, it's well built. The hop-up is something we're going to have to talk about, because this hop-up is just insane. And even on .2s, this thing is definitely interesting. But what I am going to say is that I am a little saddened that we don't have a bead sight, we don't have any sort of Picatinny rail up here. They decided to go with a classic, basic shotgun. The buttstock is polymer, the body itself is polymer, except for the inside under this right here, that's metal. The heat shield, or the cheese grater, is metal. And the outer barrel is polymer, but the pump tube, the tube where the shells would go, is metal. The end cap is polymer. And the slings are metal. But I know you're asking about a little bit of history about this shotgun, because I haven't talked about it yet. I'm going to let Zach handle this one.
It's a Mossberg 590.
Is that a good weapon or not?
I personally am not a big fan of Mossberg 590s. I like the Remington A70 better, but
What do you prefer about the Remington over the Mossberg?
steel receiver as opposed to an aluminum receiver of the Mossberg.
that
Also, the Mossbergs feel kind of clanky.
Is it significant difference or a slight difference?
No, it's barely any difference. It's personal preference.
So it's basically the same thing as a Remington then?
Kind of. The bolt is a little different and some of the other stuff. Yeah, Mossberg 590. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Did the Germans or the Russians invent it?
It's an American shotgun.
Oh, so it was made by Heckler and Weston?
No, it was made by Mossberg.
Is that
Where are you even getting this from? It
How vain do you have to be to name your rifle after yourself?
was Mossberg and Sons. This is the name of the company.
Did they invent it in the year 590?
I don't know.
You don't know? Yes, they did then.
No, they didn't invent it in the year 590. The Mossberg 590's been around since, I don't know, the 60s, 70s maybe?
Why did they call it the Mossberg 1960s?
I have no idea, because different companies name their guns different things.
There you go. There's your bit of history about this shotgun. So, let's go ahead, take this to the chronograph and the range and see what we're getting out of this. But we'll do that after these messages.
You're reaching deep inside you. Go! For things you've never known. It's been tough, rough going, but you haven't gone alone.
We do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day.
Be all that you can
Hey,
be.
First Sergeant. Good morning.
You can do it in the army.
Looking for that perfect game for your gaming console? Video Game Corner is the largest independently owned video gaming store in North Mississippi, located at 1519 Highway 72 in Corinth. We are an authorized limited-run retail store and have a massive collection of retro games and game systems, and also plush toys and collectibles. We also pay top dollar for your used video games. Check them out Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Visit Video Game Corner in Corinth.
Well, folks, I decided to swap out the Bass Pro hat for the Ford hat, and we as a folks, we just gonna talk about this shotgun's FPS. Dropping the redneck there for a second, and actually talking as a regular person, even though every fiber of my southern being wants me to talk like proper right there southerner, and of course talking about that here redneck and Hammond Randy, all right there, so you can get that man right there, run out there, try to bat no land, and get back there, you just right there, and I do just shoot right there, I'm sorry, what was I talking about? Oh, right, the FPS. Anyway, so, we've got it loaded up, not Evike, sadly, Black Ops Point 2 BBs. We are going to be seeing the FPS we're getting out of this. And, there we go. We got 8 shots of this little number right here. I've got the chronograph right here. And we are going to see how many of the FPSs that we are getting out of this. So, firing the first shot. 315. 311. 311. 309. 305. That really does give you a workout. It really does. 305. 305. God, I fucking love it, being able to do that. And empty. Making sure. Yep, she empty. That's the one thing I do like about this magazine, is that it feeds all the way up to the last BB, so you don't have to worry about any BBs coming out of it. And if only there could be an adapter to where I don't have to use these, or at least someone 3D prints out extended versions of these, because so far I'm liking this gun, and it's showing some promise. It really is. Anyway, so FPS-wise, we are getting around the 3 teens to 305s, and it's saying we'll get about 137 feet out of this, supposedly. The joule count is 0.86 joules, so 0.86 joules, and yeah, let's go ahead, get this loaded back up, and take her outside, shall we? Okay, so we are out here now with the Mossberg 590, or 500, whichever one you want to go with. So as you can see right here, I've basically been able to put some Picatinny rail on there for the run cam and the red dot. It does have a bit of height over bore. Yeah. So, in a sense, it is windy today, by the way, and it is cold. Not as cold as a witch's tit, but pretty damn cold. So we're going to see if this thing can hit the broadside of a barn, and if it can, you know, can't do that. Also, before I even start this up, even with all this on here, I'm still able to. Okay, need to maybe a little more. There we go. God, I'm still, oh, it is cold. But one of the things I will admit is that the safety, as I've stated before many times already, the safety is probably in the most advantageous positions. I mean, was it so hard to do a crossbar safety? Did you have to use the, which I don't even think this is in the right position, the trap door, basically the thing that actually allows you to undo the slide lock, you know, all that. But anyway, I have the hop up all the way on the back. We're using Black Ops .2 BBs. Yes, Black Ops instead of e-bikes. And we're going to see how far this thing can actually get. So, let's go ahead and see the distance we're getting out of this. And again, I know height over bore is, I don't even have, whoop, that's another thing. The slide likes to go back, so you're able to double feed. But yeah, no, so, yeah, not even, anyway though. So, safety is off. I'm paranoid now, because I have to check and make sure I'm not disconnecting the, but anyway, can't hit the broadside of a barn. I have double fed. That overhopped. Let's push it up a little bit. Overhopped again. Push that up. Safety is not engaged. Overhopped again. The hop up is pretty damn sensitive with .2s. Okay, didn't even. It hit it that time. It hit the broadside of the barn that time. So we're going to just go straight distance, and we're going to see how far these BBs are traveling now. That is flexing a bit. And we're empty. So yeah. That actually traveled a little bit. It really did. That definitely traveled, I want to say, all the way towards the back of the fence row. So that's about beyond 100 feet. And again, you could see it in the run cam footage, how far out that was going. But the hop-up itself is, I'm a little bit iffy on the hop-up, and I'm definitely iffy on whether or not I want to do a redneck flat hop. But doing a redneck flat hop may actually help with some of the issues we saw from that. From it being way over hopped to it not being hopped up enough. So, yeah. Let's get back inside and give our final verdict, shall we? Like I said before, out there, the hop-up is insane, especially with .2s. You put .25s through this thing, and you're going to have yourself a slug gun, essentially. Now, if you can get some rails on here, be they the clamps that go through here to give you a light and laser, or, you know, something of that nature, or even the ability to be able to have an optic at the end of it, or even be able to have a scope up here so that you can use it as an effective slug gun, again, that's completely up to you. And as I stated before, this is actually a really cool and really good shotgun. Or slug gun, whichever one you want to go with. You can pump this twice, and you can fire 2 BBs out of it. And again, you think I'm joking on that. I'm not. You just, yeah, one of those things. And, that's about it, really. That's all I got to say. And for the price tag itself, for the performance itself, for everything this gun actually does right, and some things it does wrong, i.e. the safety in the magazine, I cannot come to hate this gun. I really can't. In reality, I like this, and I already know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to paint the stock and the pump grip here a type of wood color, and that's it. That's honest to God it. That is literally what I'm going to do. I'm basically going to paint this wood color, I'm going to paint it brown, and we're just going to fucking go from there. And, yeah, that's about it, really. So, yeah. The final verdict for the Double Eagle Series 500 Mossberg is no more, no less than a 9 out of 10. It is a must-own for anyone who loves a Mossberg and a slug gun and knows how to actually make these things into better little snipers. This is definitely something that needs to be on your list. And believe me when I say, I'll be doing a mod guide on how to actually turn this into a much more deadly, or not really deadly, just much more, a sleeper pump gun, essentially, like a sleeper pump rifle. Again, it's just one of those guns I just love. I just cannot bring myself to hate this thing. I just love it. I really do. And again, it's just one of those little sleeper builds that you can do to make it into a sniper rifle. And that's what I'm going to do with it. I'm actually going to make it into a pump-action rifle. I'm not going to change the spring out. It's actually pretty good. I might actually do a little bit for the hop-up because, yeah, I'm going to see what kind of barrel this thing takes and see if I can't put one of my other barrels in here, if it has an AEG-style barrel. Again, I'm just going to turn this into something great. I really am. And, yeah, that's about it. Thank you all so very much for watching. As always, I've been AirsoftAL, and a huge thank you to Seth from the Tupelo Airsoft Club for being able to provide me with this shotgun. And, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to help support the channel and help support the content I produce, then consider donating to the PayPal down below. Or if you want to help, directly in the content I produce, I have an Amazon account now. So if you want to figure out how to help out through that, then please get in contact with me directly via the Discord down below. It's folks like you that actually help make this stuff possible. I'm not joking on that. The BBs, the camera work, everything. It's folks like you that actually allow me to do what I'm able to do these days. And if you have any experience with the Double Eagle Mossberg 500 series of airsoft guns, let me know in the comment section down below as well, and what you have personally done to them to make them that much better. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, and next time we take a look at another viewer-sponsored review. This one, of course, is from our friend over at Tupelo Airsoft Club, John Henry. He actually helped supplied this one as well. It is a little battle rifle, small. So, yeah, we're going to take a look at a battle rifle next time and see how it holds up. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen.